All right, my friends, welcome back to another speed build. Today we are building, well, I keep wanting to call this a pottery barn. It is not a pottery barn. I mean, it is technically, it's a pottery studio in a barn. So in that way, it's a pottery barn, but it's not like Pottery Barn, the store, which I actually just learned was still in business. I thought they went bankrupt. I think I was thinking of Pier 1, but anyway, this is a pottery studio in a converted barn. So my thought here was kind of like a barn that, you know, maybe it's been modernized, add some newer features, but they decided to, the first floor, have like pottery studio. So yeah, you can do classes, you can make pottery, you can buy stuff, and then the upstairs kind of have like a little lofted apartment space. I was pretty excited about this build. I didn't really, so I only used Horse Ranch and Businesses and Hobbies for this build. Businesses and Hobbies I've been doing quite a bit of, and I absolutely love that pack. Horse Ranch was one I was not actually super familiar with. Horse Ranch came out when I was kind of taking my like YouTube hiatus, and I wasn't really playing a whole lot of the game either in that time, so I never really took the time to explore everything this pack had to offer, so I wanted to try to rectify that. Going into it, I will say I still don't know anything about the gameplay. I don't know anything about running a whole, like taking care of a horse or anything, but the world is really cool, and the stuff in this pack is really nice. And I was actually surprised at how well everything kind of went together with Businesses and Hobbies. So Horse Ranch does have a lot of like rundown like rustic stuff, but the more modern stuff it has actually feels like it flows in pretty well with the other pack. So it kind of worked out pretty well. So yeah, right now in the build, you'll kind of see we're trying to still put together what I want like the building shape to be, and I'm trying to figure out how I want the windows. I do want some like really big windows on this space. Unfortunately, because this is like multiple layers, like the windows, I couldn't just do like one big thing. I think we worked around it pretty nicely though. But yeah, so again, the first floor is gonna have like all the pottery studio stuff. Second floor is gonna have like a little loft apartment. I do see in this video, I do also end up adding like some of the nectar stuff, like the nectar making kit, like the wine rack. I don't know if I made enough for that to be functional, but I kind of thought like in my area, like paint and sips are a really popular thing, but there's a few places that also do like sip and pottery, paint and pottery and sip. So I thought maybe, you know, you could have Sims come here, have like a little night out, drink some nectar, make some cool pots and stuff, and whatever else you do with pottery skill. So yeah. So like I said, I don't know if it's enough for that to work. At the very least, you should be able to make nectar. You probably have to figure out how to like get the grapes or whatever. At the very least, it looks cool, and adding some adding some of the barrels around, I try to add a few nice touches there. So right now we are kind of working on the first floor. Again, I have the pottery wheels, have the kilns. I do have like a little spot for like coffee, a little vending machine if you want to get a snack, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. The first floor is pretty straightforward. It just has a bunch of retail stuff. It is kind of like the newer vibes down here. I did add a few little like rustic charms like with the furniture and like the paintings. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this floor. Top floor is just a really small, like almost like studio apartment type thing, and then outside I have a few tables. Like I said, I set up the nectar thing, and I think that's pretty much it to talk about. So I'm gonna let you guys enjoy the rest of the speed build. When we come back, we'll do a lot tour, we will set it up as a business, and we will see what happens. So I will see you all in a few minutes. Bye guys. All right, we are back. Welcome to the pottery studio in a barn, not to be confused with Pottery Barn. All right, so just kind of like a tour on the outside. So we have, like I said, we have a couple tables and chairs. We have some of the wine barrels. Over here, we have a few little sitting spots. We have the actual like nectar maker. And then going inside, we have the little entranceway where I put some of the little like sales stuff up. I did preload it with some pottery things that you can build in front. I got these from Debug, but you can clear these out, put your own stuff up there. And then we have the actual like pottery wheels. We have the whiteboard. We have the kilns. Again, a few more little like decorative things. I kind of like, I don't know why, like these blocks, I kind of like combining them in together, making it look like a little installation thing. Just a small thing, but I think it worked out pretty nicely. Over here, we have the restrooms. Nothing too crazy there. Whatever reason, like I think I mentioned it in the speed build, like the swatches from Horse Ranch go really well with businesses and hobbies in my mind. I think I was talking specifically about like the more modern stuff in Horse Ranch, but even like the more like rustic stuff, like this sink is from Horse Ranch, but it goes really well with this mirror from Businesses and Hobbies. I don't know if it's just because they had the similar swatches, which is not a common thing in this game, but it worked out. And then yeah, we have power wheels, we have a couple of the kilns, a few more sales items up here. Going upstairs, we have a little lofted office space, and then we have like the actual apartment. So we have a bathroom, bedroom, bathroom, and then the little studio apartment. The studio apartment is more Horse Ranch than it is Businesses and Hobbies, but I did add a few of like the little modern touches here. And yeah, that is pretty much it. I am realizing that I didn't actually add a ticket booth, so we're going to do that. I also didn't change the name of this studio, so I'm going to just call this Pottery Studio. I'm going to save it to the library. Then we'll go through, do our play testing. So let me go ahead and add our ticket counter in. I do want to call out, even though I did use Businesses and Hobbies and Horse Ranch, this is not, I don't think this is going to end up being a cheap build. I wasn't trying to make it like a starter home or anything, but it's limited pack at least, so you have that. All right, let's go ahead and let's go back into live mode. So we have our sim who, Zoe Bragg, I just put together a little default sim, gave her one of the Business and Hobbies outfits. I do need to get her pottery skill up though, because she needs to have that to be able to teach. So I'm just gonna have her start crafting a new ceramic, and then I am just honestly just gonna cheat her pottery. So we're gonna bring that up to level 6. I think you need to at least be level 3. So that's done. We can cancel that out. Let's go ahead and set up the small business. So one thing, I think I've mentioned this a few times now, like small business lots, they require a little more work up front to get them to be fully functional. It's not like a bar where you can just assign it as a bar lot and then someone will automatically come in by default and build drinks. You have to, they all default as residential. You set up the register a small business with a sim through live mode. You set up their tasks, you set up their employee tasks, and yeah, so it's just a few more steps. It's not a huge deal, but it's not as seamless as click a bar and then you have a bar set up already. All right, so let's go ahead and do our register small business. I'm going to call this not Pottery Barn, and our presets, we are going to attend lectures and classes. We are going to do pottery if I can find it. I don't know where pottery is. Okay, we're gonna do browse and buy items while we're here. Where is pottery? Do pottery. Maybe have them drink ranch nectar and be friendly, I guess. I can't think of anything else they need to actually do here. Yeah, we'll do be friendly. Why not? Do an hourly fee, and this is the one lot. Not gonna do any target customers. I see if you wanted to switch this up, I could see like seniors night or whatever, but we have our small business registered. I think this is all we need to do. So let's go ahead and open. Oh, I am gonna give her some default tasks. So if you want to visit this lot, like if you want to set this up as a business and have like another family come visit it, you do need to give the owner tasks. Otherwise they're just gonna stand there. They're not gonna do anything. So by default, I'm gonna give her clean and fix objects because those are just kind of standard. Probably scrap crafts too. And then we will do we're not gonna do, where's the do lectures? Offer paid mentoring maybe, and run lectures and classes. I think that's all we need, but we have our business open. So now we just wait. We'll probably get rid of this too. I don't think we need it. I don't think we need that. See if anyone comes visit. All right, we have Ansim. Okay. We're starting to get some people in. Cool. Are you actually gonna come in? You're just gonna stand there. Maybe if I start doing the lecture, classes can't be started until customers checked in. We'll go ahead and check in so we can start. Come on now. Nice. All right, we're gonna do a pottery lecture. Oh, I cannot. Why can't I get to this? All right, it says she can't get to the thing. I'm honestly not 100% sure why. I'm gonna try to move these out of the way just in case, because you have enough room to walk there. Okay, can you walk here? Okay, you can walk there. Why can't you do a lecture? I'm not 100% sure what's happening. I'm gonna move this one row just in case. I'll say one good thing about having to do this extra stuff, it forces me to play test. So, because if I just upload this to the gallery as is, you guys won't be able to use it. So now can you do a lecture? Do I just need to get rid of these? Let's try that. Let's try moving it out a little bit. Okay, so apparently it was too close to the, why? Okay, it's stupid. All right, let's try this again. We're gonna open it, but make sure this works before we upload it to the gallery, because that was a little nuts. All right, let's do pottery lecture. And let's see if people actually like use the pottery stuff. All right, there we go. So if we do the actual like pottery class, they'll actually do pottery. Good to know. Apparently it's thunderstorming. Oh my god. All right, so we have one person attending our pottery class. We're making a crap ton of money though. Oh, maybe someone bought our stuff. Okay, cool. All right, it's working. Likes pottery? I would hope so. All right, so we got all these people attending our class. Can we craft a object real quick while we're here? We'll do a candle holder. Oh, Nancy Landgrab's being disruptive. Are you guys gonna put your stuff in the kiln? Okay, so they can do pottery. They're just kind of leaving stuff on the kiln, so not quite sure what's up with that, but we do know the pottery stuff works. Let's close this down. And we made a decent amount of money for the first day, not really knowing what we were doing. They all learned some cool stuff. Let's just make sure all this is accessible real quick. So go ahead and use the toilet, brush your teeth, get water. Oh, I guess another thing should I test? Can I make nectar? Yeah, buy stuff first, but okay. I'll just buy a bunch of grapes. All right, she looks like she's having a grand old time doing that. I don't know if the sanitary to still be serving that, but okay. Oh god. I guess technically we could probably also do like nectar making classes, I guess. All right, so we got a bottle of nectar, which I think we can then put in this little thing to age. Okay, I think we're in a good spot where I'm thinking it works. Let me go ahead and make the changes before I put this up on the gallery. So I'm gonna plop down the unused version, and I know we need to I gotta change these rooms to residential because I don't think I did that before. I'll make this employees only, so that way employees can use the computer but no one else will try. I think down here is fine, and I think we just need to move. I know I need to move this forward, and I know I'm probably gonna get rid of these. I don't know if I actually needed to, so you might be able to add them back in if you wanted, but I think for right now this will work. So we'll move those back down, and so I wasn't 100% sure if these were causing the issue, but we'll get rid of those just in case. Everything should work now. We set it up like we had before. Yeah. So pottery studio 20 by 20. Let's go ahead and put this up on the gallery. All right, apparently we have a disallowed word. I don't know what that would be. I'm just gonna try getting rid of businesses and hobbies. Modernized barn includes small business and residential space. Hope you enjoy. Okay, so apparently we're up on the gallery. I couldn't use hashtag businesses or hobbies or hashtag small business, so not sure what's going on there, but it is up on the gallery. And they said we only used horse ranch and we only use businesses and hobbies. It is a little pricey at $72,000. But I think it came together pretty nicely. I think your Sims could build a really cool pottery studio out of here. Maybe also include some nectar making, have like a little little pottery and sip, have nectar making classes, whatever you want. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching another speed build. If you like this video, please consider dropping a like. Please consider leaving a comment if you have any tips or any other builds you would like to see. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. I am trying to grow this channel. You guys have been immense support for that, so thank you. With all that, I hope you have an amazing day, and I will catch you next time. Bye everybody.